point number 3. So yes, we're in chapter 3 for this one. This is just talking about how Paul came and taught them the gospel. As I said in the introduction, Paul came and taught them the gospel. He was there for about 2 years, taught a whole lot of people. They got baptized, just didn't quite get the gospel though, which is why he's writing them this letter, because there's things amiss that they're not quite getting. Understandable, you can't learn it all at once, right? And then Apollos, as a missionary, came and watered those people, as in like a garden, thinking of garden here. But the increase comes from God. Now he does say that in verse 6. He says, I have planted, Apollos watered, but God gave the increase. So while you might have heard a missionary message, if you're a convert, or you've heard something at church that helped you with your testimony, helped in your conversion process, took you from testimony to conversion even, like something was planted and then someone comes and waters it, but the fruit of that tree and the increase is from God. And then in 7 he says, so then neither is he that planteth anything, neither he that watereth, but God giveth that increase. So he makes it very clear that God gives the increase. You can't force the growth. You can create all the conditions for growing something, but you can't force a plant to grow. If we're going to analogize it to gardening, if analogize is the word, you can't force it to grow. You can put the seed down, you can water it, you can give it all the fertilizer and the love, you can go sing to that plant, but God gives the increase on whether that plant grows or not us. We can't make it grow. The same thing with people. We can plant the seeds, we can water them, we can keep inviting and sharing and loving, but God will do the increase. And yeah, we'll see that in people when they're ready, in their own time. And even in us, right? This is the thing, even in us. We can have the seed planted, someone can come water it, but in the time when it's ready, God will give the increase and the tree will bloom, the plant will like sprout, the spring bulb flowers come out. I saw so many yesterday on the drive here. It was stunning. There was daffodils everywhere. But further down, well, it was dark when I was coming in this part, but heading towards the nearest city here, which is Hastings. Spring flowers everywhere, and I love spring bulb flowers. They're my favorite. Tulips and daffodils the most. Love, love, love them. And probably about as much as Emily Bell Freeman likes peonies, but I can't pick spring flowers and bring them inside. They don't really last. They're better in the garden. Yeah, people have given them to me and I've taken photographs of so many of them, but there's something just so joyful in a daffodil or a tulip. Poppies as well, and jonquils and freesias and all those things. Lovely. And the scent from them is gorgeous. But I think too, it's one of the flowers that doesn't give me hay fever, doesn't make me sneeze. So I think that's a big selling point for me as well. But I really love them. There's just something so joyful after that cold winter. And to know that they sit in that cold ground and then bloom in the cold, ready as a sign that the rest of the flowers are coming, that summer is coming. And by the time summer gets here, they're gone. It's like the most beautiful portent. So, yeah. You can put them in the ground, you can water them, but God's the one who sprouts them and causes the increase. So I just love that. Again, just offshoot there on my spring flower obsession. Nevertheless, it goes on to talk about there too that in verse 11 he says, for other foundation can no man lay than that is laid, which is Jesus Christ. Well, 10's actually the best one. According to the grace of God, which is given unto me as a wise master builder. So he's saying, like, I have experienced this myself. I'm very good at this. And I'm like, yeah, I think I could say the same thing. I'm a master builder as far as foundations in Christ go. A lot of experience the hard way, hard labor in there. He says, they have laid the foundation, and another buildeth thereon, but let every man take heed how he buildeth thereon. And then he goes on to say that for no other foundation is better than the one that is Christ, or Christ's foundation, which we can also look at Peter for that. But look at Helaman 5:12. That's the, oh my sons, remember. That is upon a sure foundation that you must build. That you must build upon that sure foundation. You must build on that rock. Who is our Redeemer. And it goes on there to talk about, when those storms come in and when the horribleness comes, which it always does, you need to be on that. And then he talks about too, building a foundation of gold, silver, precious stones, wood, hay, or stubble. Like, what are you going to pick? Well, I'd probably take some maybe not precious stones, some good wood, some concrete we have these days. Don't know if they had concrete back then. Well, they had like that stucco-y, because they had those Greek buildings, all sort of like plaster, weren't they? I don't know, whatever they were. Some sort of hard-packed mud. I don't know if it's quite concrete, maybe the precursor to concrete, but it's something strong, right? With like big wire bars through it, solid, and you dig down with big wooden posts. You don't really make a really stable foundation out of hay. It's not like the go-to, is it? That's more for insulating the walls and keeping you warm. It's not really foundational material. So all those materials are good. Like, what are you going to pick? What is the thing? And also in chapter 3, he talks about building things that are fire resistant, which is so good. Because things that last, things that abide, and that like, you know, you can take that as building materials to actual things in life. Put those things in your shopping cart of life that are going to abide, things that are not temporary, things that are long lasting, things that are going to make you satisfied for a long time, which is why he goes into the next one we're going to talk about is immorality. Talks about the temple, you know you're not that you're the temple of God, and the Spirit of God dwelleth in you. That's beautiful too, talking again, building up to that immorality. But that firm foundation in Christ and those principles will help you have that, and yeah, it's just awesome. So I really love those chapters. That particular chapter is a really good one, I think. Chapter 3, of all the chapters this week, I think 3 is on point for learning. I don't know how you're finding it. If you find anything different, drop in the comments, let us know. Alright, we're going to go over to chapter 6 and talk about problems immorality. Although chapters 4 and 5 are really good, more just like, again, good advice, some good things in there. Particularly in chapter 4, I like verses 20 and 21. That's talking about action and that power of God. Like, what power? Action is that. And you know, we can call down miracles, and it's all about people. That's what he's trying to talk about, and trying to teach them that unity that they weren't having. So that's the ones I haven't focused on this week, but if you feel to teach that, of course, go ahead, because it's good stuff. All right, hang out. We're going to be there in chapter 6. I'll see you there.